Hi everybody, it's Alan here from Reilly Real Estate, bringing you Reilly's Real Talk for this Friday, the 14th of October. Almost halfway through the month, and again another month that is flying by. Looking forward to a great weekend this weekend. A lovely property available for you to check out in Newtown this Saturday at 6A Gostwick Street, a 3-bedroom home on 664 square metres. Ideal for first home buyers, people looking to downsize, or astute investors sitting on the edge of the CBD. This property is just a walk to Laurelbank Park, and then through there you can get to Grand Central and the city centre. You've got Clifford Gardens just up the road as well, so an ideal location. And we'll be there at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and again at 12 o'clock this Saturday, the 15th of October. So today with Reilly's Real Talk, or this week, we're going to give you a bit of an overview of what's happening on the sales market, and also talk to you about the market from a rental perspective. Things are certainly moving along pretty well on both sides there, and also really appreciate those people that have sent through a few questions. We asked during the week what you'd like us to talk about, or what topics you might like us to cover in Reilly's Real Talk, and we've got a couple of answers for the questions that came through. So let's get on to that. Well, across the market from a sales point of view, still seeing really good inquiry for all types of property at the moment across the city. And not just people looking to move to the area. You know, it's always been that talk throughout the year, really throughout the last 2 years, of people coming, Sydney buyers coming up. Sydney buyers always seem to get tarred with that same brush, that they're coming up and taking property from people. Well, we are still seeing that people are coming from those other areas, not just Sydney, but other areas of Queensland as well, and regional New South Wales and Victoria. But also we're seeing local buyers definitely in the market at the moment, be that first home buyers, people looking to upgrade, or obviously people looking to downsize. So a really active market across the board right now. The majority of people that we're getting inquiries from are looking for a home to live in. So they're not necessarily looking for an investment property. Around about 70% of the inquiries we're getting are from people looking for a home to live in, the remaining 30% being investors. So a good spread, and as I say, not just people from out of the area, but also local buyers looking in our market right now. From what the market's actually doing, so listing volumes of property for sale has stayed relatively steady, albeit slightly down from a week ago. So this Saturday, realestate.com is showing there's 157 open homes happening across Toowoomba, and we've got from last week, that's, as I say, slightly down. I think it was a peak of about 170 properties last week. So what does that mean? It means that there are new properties coming to the market, but that they are still selling at a relatively quick rate. So if you find a property, if you're out there having a look for a property on the weekend or over the next few weeks, if you do find one that you really like, then you do need to act, I would say, sooner rather than later, to make sure that you don't miss out. On the rental side now, on the rental side of things, currently there are 200 properties advertised for rent across Toowoomba. Now that seems like a big number, and it is a good number of properties to have available. However, the vacancy rate across the city is still less than 0.5%. It's still an extremely tight market. It wouldn't surprise me to see that number of 200 properties come down quite a bit in the next 7 days, as rental properties do get picked up quite quickly. You know, our vacancy rate within the office here, it's a small portfolio, but it is 0%. We have no vacancy at all right now, and we are still getting inquiries from tenants looking to move to the area, or having to move from where they are to find another property. So even though we're not advertising properties for rent because we don't have any available at the moment, we're still getting that inquiry, and that shows you that there is still strong demand for rental properties across the city. So for anyone who is thinking of buying investment property, again, I said it last week, I'll say it again, it's definitely a good time to get into the market, because coming into this time of year traditionally is a busy time of year, and it seems that it's already busy. As we head into the end of the year, I would expect it to stay very busy, if not get even busier with demand for rental properties. So now that brings us to the questions that we had sent in, and again, really appreciate that. We'll put the call out again soon for more questions to come in. So we did have a few, and I'll address a couple of them today. First of all, why you even need an agent at all. We'll have a quick chat about that, and I guess I'll be a bit biased, but I'll try to do my best there. Why you need to market your property in the current market, with the market being so strong, and also why you should be investing in that marketing yourself, as opposed to not paying for any marketing at all. So back to the start, why you need an agent? Well, really, in a market like this, it's true. You could sell the property yourself. You could put it on the market. You can advertise through different portals and get onto realestate.com in some shape or form. But the reason that you bring in an agent such as myself is to find that hidden 10% in the market. Sure, you can go and sell it for a price and probably be happy with what you get there. And there is a portion of people out there that's what they'll do, and that's completely fine. Well within your rights to do that. But you employ an agent like myself to find that hidden 10% in the marketplace and to find not just a buyer, but the best buyer who's willing to pay that extra to get you the absolute best price that's available. There are a number of other things too. Secondly is access to buyers. So, as an agent that's active in the marketplace, we're talking to buyers. I just mentioned it before, lots of inquiry coming in right now. So we have active buyers looking for property that can't find the right property at the moment, or maybe they've missed out. It's not been all that unusual for us to be talking to buyers who have finally been able to secure a property, and they tell us, we've been looking for 6 months, we've made 8 to 10 offers and missed out, and we're so glad to finally get it. So it's access to those buyers. If you go out by yourself, you haven't been speaking to those buyers, you don't have that access straight away. And it's also that assistance that we bring prior to going to the market. So just ensuring that you've got the presentation right, that if there's little areas to fix up before you take the property to the market, then we'll go and fix those up, and we can give you some advice around those things and help you decide what to do, but also probably just as importantly as to what not to do, so that you're not wasting money before you put the property on the market. And also, we really at Reilly Real Estate, we try to bring a consultative approach where we work with you to set out that right marketing plan to identify the ideal buyer for the property and really target our marketing to those buyers, so that as we said before, we're not just getting a buyer, we're getting the absolute best buyer for your property. So hopefully that gives you a few points there on why to bring an agent involved. Now let's talk about the marketing. And I think these two go hand in hand in some way. Why you need to market. So the next question, you've decided on an agent, and then the question that we quite often get is, have you got buyers? And the answer is yes, we're talking to buyers all the time. However, what we can't tell you for any property that goes to the market, what we can't say is where the best buyer will come from for that property. We've sold properties from our database, and we have, in the right circumstance, sold properties off market. However, it's the rare time that would happen for us, because as I said, we don't know where the best buyer is going to come for that property. So, we could sell it off the database. It could be sold off the sign. It could be finding that buyer through realestate.com. It could be finding that buyer through Domain, one of those major portals. It could be finding it on social media. It could be finding it through a letterbox drop or some other print media. So there are so many avenues that you can go out and take a property to the market. And the only way that you're going to know, that I believe that you're going to know that you're walking away with the absolute best price, is by A, having an agent by your side is going to help you to make the most of the current market, and B, ensuring you put a marketing plan in place that encompasses the whole market. So I use the John West analogy of, it's the fish that John West reject that makes John West the best. Well, we want to do that for your property too. So we cast that net wide, find all the potential buyers that might be interested in the property, and then narrow down on that 5 to 10% that will really want to buy it, because they're the ones that are going to pay the best price. So hopefully that makes sense as to why you should market, even when the market is really strong like it is in our local area right now. Secondly to that, why invest in the marketing? So there are, people will say, well, why can't you pay for it? And a fair question, but what I would say to that is that you do get what you pay for. So, the days of of agents taking photos, and I started out, in Gatton 2006, and that's what we did. We took the photos. I think I had a 1 megapixel camera, so that probably makes me seem really old now. We've got better cameras than that on our phones, but that's what we did. That was good at the time, but the world's moved on. Things improve. Expectations lift from the market as well. So, the days of the agent taking a happy snap, putting it online and doing it really isn't going to get you there. And what I do see sometimes from that sort of thing is that, and over time my experience has been that largely the marketing that you don't pay for isn't as good as what you would expect. You get what you pay for in most things in this world, and marketing your property is no different. So, and the next point that I would say with the marketing is that it is an investment in the profits of the sale of your property. So you can choose, as I said, we work with our clients closely to give them the opportunity to choose what they do and don't want to do, obviously with our advice as to what we think they should do. And we'll give you case studies to show you what we've done over the recent few months and what's been working, so that you know that the money you're spending is going to go into generating the profit for your sale. So really important. And saving, it's not my line, it's one of John McGrath's lines, but saving $1,000 or $2,000 at the start could cost you tens of thousands of dollars at the end by having inferior marketing that doesn't showcase the property in its best light. So I would say it's always better to have professional marketing in place that's going to showcase the property in its best light and help you to attract the best buyers. So I hope that answers some of those questions that we've had. Please keep sending questions in. We've got a few more that we'll answer next week, but keep sending them in, and we'll keep bringing those answers to you to keep the content relevant for you. Thanks so much for watching. That's Reilly's Real Talk for this week, for Friday the 14th of October. Again, I hope that's been of some value for you, and whatever you get up to this weekend, I hope you enjoy yourself. Cheers.